as currently constructed, they have no chance with Russell Westbrook, I don't think.
They have to let him go at this point.
The Lakers are doomed. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to episode 2 with the Deep 3. I'm Isaac, joined here by my co-hosts Mohammed and Donovan.
What's going on, y'all?
What's good?
And today we're going to do a preview of the Pacific Division, which means, of course, we got to talk about the Lakers.
This is going to be fun. Donovan, you got some strong-ass takes about them boys.
Do I?
Yeah.
I don't even think that they're strong. They're just...
About Anthony Davis specifically.
yeah, by him for sure.
Yeah. And, I mean, if he doesn't have some strong takes, I definitely do, being a Lakers fan. So it's always fun to talk about them, and let's just get right into it.
Bro, point blank period, I feel like the biggest X factor for the Lakers is, of course, to no surprise, they got to be Anthony Davis's health. Point blank period.
Yeah, that's like by far the biggest story. Well, let me say that. I was going to say the biggest storyline is if Anthony Davis can stay healthy, but that's not even true. By far the biggest storyline is what are they going to do with Russell Westbrook? If they keep him, is it going to be a disaster? Where is that going?
We saw.
I don't know. They have to let him go at this point. They have to let.
What do you mean by let him go?
Find somewhere to where he's not playing basketball for the Lakers in any capacity, and whether that's like you treat him like John Wall and you send him home, or you find a team that's like, you know, if they decide to package that extra first round pick and send him somewhere else, I don't care what they do, but he's obviously not a good fit for what they want to do, and he's not gonna like buy into the role that they want him to play. So he just can't be a Laker if they want to be successful.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think the title of this video has to be "The Lakers are doomed" because, as currently constructed, they have no chance with Russell Westbrook, I don't think. Last year, I kind of talked myself into it, thinking, if they make him this supercharged Gary Payton II mixed with Draymond Green, maybe they can do it. It just doesn't seem like it's going to work. So, obviously, best case scenario, they trade him to somewhere like Indiana, Charlotte, Utah, whatever. But if he's on the roster, even if he's not on the roster and they send him home like John Wall, I just don't think they have enough without his money, because it's $40 million just out on the bench.
Yeah,
I don't think they have enough pieces to survive without him either.
Yeah, I definitely agree, dog. Like, you having all those types of hopes and aspirations for them to work last season was just 110%. Donovan, we noticed them Lakers fans are so delusional, and I'm sorry, Isaac, he's smart, but you got something delusional in you too. It's in the blood for sure, bro. Yeah. So, like you said, I agree. Like, the only team in my mind currently that makes somewhat sense for them to trade for Russell Westbrook is a team like the Utah Jazz, who has nothing to lose and nothing to gain because they got like 10 million picks, just like the OKC Thunder. And I think y'all are just doomed, bro. Like, it's sad to say, but because of what your GM did, Rob Pelinka, my GOAT is doomed.
See, okay, when I say they're doomed, so I'm not trying to say that gloom. I'm just trying to make it seem more, extreme than I'm trying to make it sound. It's sounding more extreme than I'm really trying to make it be. They're doomed if they keep Russ, but I think they don't have to keep Russ. I think there definitely is a path to them making the trade, like you said, and I'm really hoping it's not the Utah one. I'm hoping it's the Indiana one that people hypotheticalize. Is that a word?
Either way, bro, it's anything. It's anything basically at this point. Like, you have no room to be picky whatsoever, and I think definitely something will happen because just today, I don't know if y'all saw it, but I saw some tweet talking about how Russell Westbrook went ahead and listed his house for sale or something like that in LA. And so
I never know
things
those
like
are true
that happen though. Yeah, things like that happen
know.
so often. Something like that happened last season about Anthony Davis, I believe. So
I tried to
probably Isaac, real quick before we keep moving forward. Talk about like what would that Indiana deal and like if you're trading Russ to Indiana, what is that
multiple
deal?
Different trades?
Yeah. What does that deal look like?
Okay, so the popular one that people have been trying to talk into existence for the past few months with Indiana has to do with them getting Miles Turner and Buddy Hield over to the Lakers in exchange for Russell Westbrook and a mixture of first-round picks. Apparently it hasn't been happening because the Lakers want to only include one first-round pick, but obviously the Pacers are like, no, we're giving you 2 great players. You're giving us one fucking awful player. We want 2 first-round picks. So that's the holdup. And I think that would be a fantastic trade because whatever trade that's out there, nothing is going to give them a higher ceiling than having the combination of Miles Turner and Anthony Davis as their backline of defense. Having those 2 rim protectors gives you the ceiling to be like a top 5 defense, and nothing else out there gives them the ceiling of a top 5 defense or offense.
Yeah,
but
go ahead, Mo. Go ahead.
I was gonna say but as a Laker, I'm not a Lakers fan, but for you as a lifelong Lakers fan, you're here for the long haul. You're not like one of them fake Lakers fans like me, part time, whenever LeBron's playing and shit. Would you be willing to give up like your future like that? Would you be willing to give up those 2027 and 2029 picks? Because that's literally all you guys have.
Yeah, I mean, so yes,
I think yes.
Push comes to shove, I think you probably have to, because what are you gonna do? Just waste the rest of LeBron's prime? But I also understand negotiation wise why they haven't done that. Nobody else has been like with the Kyrie thing. People were like, why don't they give up 2 first-round picks to get him when a Kyrie was available for a short period of time? The thing was, nobody else was trying to get Kyrie, so why would you just go out there and throw your biggest offer on the table? It's the same thing with this. They have to try not to do it just because that's good, use of assets. But I think when push comes to shove, like I said, they have to put 2 in eventually if they need to.
They have to do right. They have to do that, and they're saying okay, who else wants Kyrie? Who else wants Russ? Like you guys are gonna be forced into the spot to where you have to give up these first round picks. And when you ask who wants these players, you do. It's very clear. I know that you want Kyrie, and I know that you don't want Russell in your building anymore. So that's the price that it's going to pay, because it's been made very, very clear that nobody in Los Angeles is happy with Russell Westbrook on the team.
Yeah.
So that's the price that you have to pay. So they're just going to have to get over it if they want to move off of him.
And that's why ever since Darvin Ham was hired, every time they talk in the media, it's been about, we have these plans to make Russell Westbrook work. We believe in them. LeBron's out here tweeting about how Russ is going to have a bounce-back season. They're just trying to, propagandize the shit and try to make it seem like they're not desperate. But like you said, the other teams know they are. And the Lakers know that they shouldn't put everything out there all at once. So both sides have been pushing and pulling. That's why no deal's going to get done anytime soon.
You know what's interesting? Just the other day, our guy Kenny went ahead and posted a video. I forgot on which channel, because he got 4 million of those things. But posted some gaming channel.
Content machine.
Yeah, exactly. He posted some gaming video of him rebuilding the Lakers on 2K. And he traded for Julius Randle on the
that's another good one to talk
Knicks.
about. And yeah, everyone's talking about that.
Hella interesting. I love the fact I love the idea of a reunion.
To give background on that, a lot of people are hypothetical. I keep saying hypotheticalizing. That's not a fucking word. Why do I said that twice now? I've never said that day in my life.
Bruh.
A lot of people are talking about a potential trade where the Knicks would take on Russell Westbrook in order to shed Julius Randle and Evan Fournier's salary. That way they can just rid the books and try to, get the rebuild going through free agency. I would fucking hate that as a Lakers fan, because we're getting rid of Russell Westbrook to bring in 6'9" Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
So I prefer not to do that. And Julius, I think Julius is going to have a bounce-back season compared to last year, but he's just not a good fit with LeBron and AD. So, he's not worth dealing with his negatives to reap the positives, because those positives don't give you that great of a ceiling.
Yeah, plus also his contract is way longer than Russell Westbrook's as well. So it's just you're stuck with a 6'9" Russell Westbrook for, 2 or 3 more years. So it's just all around down bad. Plus side, you got Evan Fournier, but he's Evan Fournier, so is it really that much?
It's to make Julius, in his best case scenario, to thrive, he has to get back to where he was 2 years ago, where he has a ball in his hands and he's making a ridiculous amount of shots off the dribble, and he's not going to have those opportunities next to LeBron and AD. You want somebody who doesn't need the ball in his hands in that way, and that's just not That's just not Randall's game.
Yeah. And look, I think at the end of the day, right? So, and let's get into this, right? Because if the Lakers keep Westbrook, right, where do you guys have them in the West? Are they a potential playoff team? Because that's clearly the standard right now. Is can you at least make the play in? Can you get there?
I'm glad you asked that. So obviously last year they didn't make the playoffs, and people have been kind of talking about them as if they're not playoff quality at all because of that record. But we know that record was what it is because of the ridiculous amount of injuries to LeBron and AD. Even if they keep Russ, they're going to be a playoff contender. We're talking about them like they're going to be a 14 seed, and I think that's way over the top. They're going to be in the mix for the 7, 8, maybe 6 seed.
Well, I think that 6 is kind of high.
Maybe. But again,
really
when you have a healthy LeBron and AD, your ceiling's pretty high.
I think even with those two healthy, I think they're probably going to be in the play-in range. They're probably going to be in 7 through 10. Because if you look at the top 6 from last year, you have Phoenix, Memphis, Golden State, Dallas, Utah, and Denver. Obviously, Utah is going to drop down, but you're assuming that
the Clippers are in there.
Exactly, you're assuming that the Clippers are going to make that jump. And I don't think even with LeBron and AD healthy, I don't think that they're better than those 6 teams. It's a very real possibility, but I feel like that's best case scenario. And so I think with the Lakers, it's going to be, can you get to the 7th seed and make sure that you only have to win 1 game and not have 2 random, playing games that can
ceiling.
that can derail your season.
We're so cooked, man.
Oh no, it's done. It's done. If they don't get rid of Russ, man, it sucks because I want Westbrook to be good, but he's not doing the things that he needs to do in order to do it. So it's I can't root for you like that.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I think we should talk about what's the reason that he makes him so bad. Because a lot of people might see that oh, Russ, the year before that, he was still averaging a triple-double with the Wizards, helping them lead them to the playoffs. Why can't they make it work? So I think we have to talk about specifically on the court X's and O's why it's such a fucking terrible fit.
I just think it's his brand of basketball. That's all it is, bro. His freestyle, free to play, like his style of basketball is meant to uplift fans who have no hope and have never had anything good in their lives before. And the Lakers are not that. They're one of the most spoiled organizations in the entire NBA. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Organizations like OKC. You know what I'm saying? The Wizards, okay, cool. He can go out there and do whatever he wants, and everyone will love it regardless, bro. But
not with LeBron.
Yeah, not with LeBron. That shit not gonna fly, and especially under that LA like microscope that they have.
Yeah, I think so. Whatever you think about the positives of Russell Westbrook, the few things that he does really well that you would think he'd bring to whatever team he goes on, finishing at the rim, playmaking, so creating open shots from the 3-point line by using his penetration to get to the rim, running in transition. That's pretty much the main things, right? Using his pressure at the rim in different ways to make their team better.
Yeah.
None of those things came to fruition with the Lakers. Let me look at these numbers I have. So their offensive rating without Russ on the court was a 112. With Russ on the court, it was a 109. So they got 3 points per 100 possessions worse. That's big picture, not great. But it gets more specific. The rim scoring with Russ on the court was at 66%. With him off the court, 68%. So again, they got better scoring at the rim when he sat on the bench. They got better scoring at the rim, which is really weird. Their 3-point shooting was better with him off the court. Their half-court offense is better with him off the court. Their transition offense was way better with him off the court. Every single area he's supposed to help you, he did the opposite.
Yeah,
it's tough. Listen, all of that's tough, and it's because of the fact that Russ just can't shoot, and so like when you have LeBron up top and you're trying to put Westbrook on the wing or in the corner, people can sag off at any point, right? So if you have him on the wing, you can sag off. Those driving lanes are no longer there, and so passing lanes get clogged up. You already have AD who, like, if he's playing down low, you're playing these double big lineups sometimes with AD and Dwight. If AD doesn't want to play center, like, it's just not enough shooting. You kind of revert back to like 1995 NBA spacing.
Exactly.
And everybody else has just kind of progressed past that offensive system. So you're playing prehistoric basketball with him on the court. So it's just not.
The fact that they were starting games in the beginning of the season with DeAndre Jordan in the same lineup as AD and Russ is fucking malpractice. You cannot have Russ and AD in the same lineup without a stretch 5 or no 5 at all. It's bonkers.
Dude, what DeAndre Jordan's reputation in the NBA how long has he been like absolutely done for?
Like 4 years. He's been in starting lineups for contenders while being ass.
Yeah, garbage, bro. Dead garbage, bro. It's been ridiculous. But yeah, like to touch on your point, just things like that absolutely, like, bro, Frank Vogel, oh my God. That's a whole nother discussion that I don't even want to get into, bro. But
we can leave him in the past.
Yeah, exactly. When it comes to like strictly the X's and O's, there's just absolutely no breathing room, like Donovan said, for Russ to do Russ type things, and because of the type of players that's around him, who, like LeBron, for instance, who excel at the same type of things, you have no one to feed off of and bounce back off of. Like, in my mind, the perfect NBA duos and just teams in general are full of players who can do what the other player cannot do. Like, the perfect example in my mind is, like, they're not a true duo or a trio, but someone like Steph Curry and fucking Sean Livingston, bro. Completely different players. Completely different players, bro. Completely different players, but they bounce back off of each other extremely well, and they do things that they cannot do physically. You know what I'm saying? It's just something I don't like, and that's another reason why I love Trae Young, DeJounte Murray. I'm gonna mention them every time I get it.
So it's not even the fact that they can do things the other person can't do. What's really important is that they can do the things they're good at while the other person is on the court. So like even like Kyrie and James Harden with KD, all those players kind of do the same thing in terms of creating shots off the dribble and making their own shot. But because they're able to be off the ball shooters really well and playmakers off the catch and drive, they could do that while the other person was on the court with them. Being able to be scalable and do your game and provide value next to other stars is like the most important thing. And Russ is literally the worst star in the history of the NBA when it comes to that.
That's so tough. That's so tough. I don't want to give him that category because like it's
he has to. He's great.
Listen,
but in these very specific circumstances.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably true. I I like have this innate like want to just cape for Russ for his entire career because I feel like this last stint with the Lakers, everybody's taken it and it's kind of expanded it to his entire career, and it's just like, I mean, that's not necessarily true. Like, he's always had like these flaws, but it's never been to this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never been to this magnitude. So like, you've still been able to create winning situations around him. So like, I don't want people to turn around and start saying that Russ's whole career has been like this or whatever. The last years, obviously, you just have to move on.
The thing about him is that, like I said, his scalability next to other stars is nowhere near other people of his caliber. And you can see that people will like often refute that by saying he was still making deep playoff runs with KD or PG, etc. And that's true. He has the
deep
talent
playoff
to still...
runs with PG.
I know, he had one good year. He had the second round, I think. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. He's still in good teams with those players.
He was out in the first round.
Dame sent him.
Yeah.
They never made it out the first. Donovan Mitchell sent them home in the first round too.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, so but anyways, people were saying that he's existed next to other stars before, so like to say he can't is not true. Same thing with James Harden. But the thing is, he has a talent to make it work still. But if you pick somebody who's just as good as him, but with different types of skills that work better with other stars, like let's say him and Chris Paul are equal. If you were to put Chris Paul with KD, maybe they wouldn't make the Western Conference Finals. Maybe they'd make the actual finals. You know what I mean? It just takes you further when you have skill sets that match better with the stars you're with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I think for the Lakers though, like, because whatever happens with Russ, like that's gonna happen. But the key for them, Anthony Davis has to play like the star that they need him to be. Like that's a huge part. And and if Anthony Davis does not come out, and if he's not like the brow or whatever they thought that they were getting whenever they traded for him, they're going to have serious problems.
Yeah.
Okay, but see, now we're gonna get into this. You say that as if when he's on the so the problem is he's not on the court. He's been injured the past 2 years. But you say that like he hasn't been great when he's on the court. He's still been exceptional when he plays. So we really have to hope he stays healthy, which, yes, he's injury prone, but at a certain point it's just bad luck. So I agree, but it's not. We talk about it as if he's a worse player now than he was 2 years ago, and that's just not true. The thing.
Well, part of it is that he is worse, and the main way that he's worse is that when you go back and you look at what he was doing in the bubble, Anthony Davis turned into like he was a shooter, right? He had the best shooting run of his entire career in the bubble. And so when I'm talking about Anthony Davis needs to step up, clearly LeBron is declining. I'm not saying he's not great, but it's starting. You're trying to get it to where it gets like this, right? To where LeBron's coming down a little bit, AD's coming up, and for AD in the bubble, right, in the playoffs. From mid range, he was in the 75th percentile of all bigs. He was shooting 49% from mid range.
Crazy.
Since then, he shot 43%, 38%, and 39%, dropping down to the 40th percentile in those categories. If he's not going to be the shooter that he is, right, I need him to be absolutely dominant in everything else that he does. I'm talking about like MVP level, because clearly that aspect of it, which helped push the Lakers. Huge, right? They got a championship out of it. If he's not going to be that as a mid-range shooter, I need that everywhere else.
In my mind, not even that is enough for the Lakers to go ahead and be propelled towards the top of the East of the Western Conference, or even in the middle of the pack. Along with that, you mentioned in 2021, bro. Their supporting cast needs to like absolutely step up. What's his name? They call that man what? AR-15, Hillbilly Kobe.
Austin Reeves?
Yeah, they call that man Hillbilly
legend.
Kobe, bro. Exactly. Like he needs to have an insane amount of progression his second year, and I don't know if you can expect that out of what was he? He was an undrafted rookie, I believe, correct? And like you need some like Malik Monk type production out of someone like Lonnie Walker, and I don't know if that's just feasible because he's never been known to be that type caliber of shooter, in my opinion. So
we're asking guys who are 77, 78 overalls on 2K, right? Like
no, they're like 75.
that caliber of player to go ahead and give them like 82, 83 overall production. And you're really asking for a lot of people to stretch. Like you look at this entire lineup outside of LeBron and AD, you have Melo, there's Pat Bev, Troy Brown Jr., Juan Toscano Anderson, right?
Oh my God.
Damian Jones.
The most uninspiring group of names I've ever heard.
Bro, is Kendrick Nunn okay? Is Kendrick Nunn okay? Because apparently...
No, he's dead. He doesn't exist.
He had the craziest bone bruise ever. I've never seen anybody out an entire year.
He got it from bumping his knee on a coffee table, and he's been out for a year and a half.
Is that for real true?
Yes, he bumped his knee in a coffee. It's been about a year now. He bumped his knee in a coffee table, and he's just now getting back to 5-on-5 activities.
He had to. You know what I think? Listen, conspiracy theory. Let's open our third eye. He had to secretly tear. He had to secretly tear his ACL, and they just didn't want.
Didn't want to tell anybody.
They didn't want to tell anybody because they were gonna make fun of him the same way like John Wall slipped and tore his Achilles. They were like,
that's crazy.
We got to shield Kendrick Nunn from the haters.
Random. John Wall tore his Achilles by dancing in the shower and falling. Isn't that fucking crazy?
Bro, that gotta be some cap too. There's just no way. How bad, bro? How big of is his shower? How bad did he slip?
He's a millionaire. Bro. I bet you his shower is huge.
Yeah,
gigantic.
He's limited.
It's not a dorm room shower, my guy. You know what I'm saying?
His shower's gotta be the size of my fucking living room.
He got walls in his shower.
That's funny. Right, I think we all kind of feel the same about the Lakers. If they don't move Russ, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
If they do move him, they have a chance. But even if they do move him, they still have a big hill to climb up because their supporting cast is horrible. So
I don't even like talking about the Lakers anymore, bro. They just kill my mood, and it's so depressing, bro. It's fun to talk about, but it's depressing.
Who are you fucking telling? All right, let's move on to the next team in the division. Let's talk about the Kings. People they're really a popular sleeper pick for the playoffs.
Let's not talk.
Oh my God.
Let's not.
I like talking about him, bro. I'm a De'Aaron Fox believer. If I'm buying stock into any NBA player who seems to have low stock, it's De'Aaron Fox easily.
Okay. They've been a very big favorite for like a sneaky playoff talks conversation. I don't think I'm willing to go there, but I see why they're interesting to people.
Why? What can you guys tell me? These guys suck.
Yeah.
They
okay,
suck.
So last year they were horrendous, right? They had a bottom 3 offense and a bottom 3 defense in the league. Wasn't great. De'Aaron Fox also wasn't great for most of the year, but in the 16 games after they got Domantas Sabonis, he got hurt, so he didn't play the last few, but in the 16 games he had him with, he averaged 29 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, shot 38% from 3, and 50% from the field. That's why it's exciting. Is De'Aaron Fox with actual spacing, with a second star next to him, now you had Keegan Murray, now you had Kevin Huerter, and whoever else small signings they made, that potential for him making that jump and playing like that full time makes him at least interesting.
In that same stretch, right? So they had Sabonis for they had Sabonis for 16 games. Post All-Star break, they played 22 games. The Kings
they weren't great.
The Kings net rating is -6. It was 25th in the league. So even though that everything else is going on and you might see a little bit of progression, it feels a little bit more like empty stats to me. They still suck. They're still not a good team. They're not.
The thing is,
they're not
before then
they
sucked. But before then they sucked, and De'Aaron Fox was mid. So at least now you see a version of him that has potential to be enabled by the star. And then I think the big thing is adding Keegan Murray. People have really high hopes for what he can be right away in the league, and I get it. He's going to be really fucking good.
Yeah. More so like you guys said, when you were pointing out towards Donovan Mitchell being not Donovan Mitchell, my bad. De'Aaron Fox actually improving his games second half or during the last few games of the regular season. It all falls on his shoulders at the end of the day. Of course, injuries and blah blah blah, all those type of things happen. But if De'Aaron Fox can be that dude once again, I feel like he's like a forgotten star in the NBA. I don't even want to call him
he's
the
not
star
a star
anymore, but even like he has that type of potential. No one can debate that. No one can argue that. He has that potential.
How many years have we say that though?
He's been in the league for what, 6 years now?
Exactly.
He's 25. Like at a certain point, like how many years can you? He's gonna be a star. Maybe he's just a really good player that's not ever gonna be a star.
Maybe he'll get that Andrew Wiggins type treatment, and whenever, like, you know what I'm saying, the Sacramento Kings get tired of him and he gets tired of the Kings, he'll be released from his shackles and be traded to a random team like the Minnesota Timberwolves or who fucking knows, bro, at this point. But I just feel like it's all on his shoulders because now, like, you know what I'm saying, all the excuses are out the window. He has talent. He has the spacing. Tyrese Halliburton's not in the picture anymore. And, like, if Tyrese Halliburton's going to be flourishing over there in Indiana and putting up all types of crazy efficient stats, and you over here still shooting like fucking 28% from the 3-point line, that's gonna be a dirty look. And that's when I decide to yank all my bucks away from De'Aaron Fox and the Kings, bro.
You mentioned him shooting 28% from 3-point line. That's the biggest thing for him.
I don't know if it was 28%. Exactly.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. He shot that one year. He was really good. He shot like 38% from 3. And then the next 2 years, he shot like 30%, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then that stretch where I just mentioned he was really good, it's because he shot 38% from 3. When that shot is falling for him, he's a completely different player. But for the majority of his career, that hasn't been the case. We've just seen those flashes. So you're just rolling the dice every year if he's going to have a hot hand or not.
Yeah.
And that's not and as we've seen, that's not a sustainable way to run your franchise, or to have to have your star player be like, hey, listen, if our star shoots well, then we're gonna be okay, and if he doesn't, then we're gonna suck. And
and most of the time he doesn't shoot well.
Exactly. So look, for the Kings, I think what they are doing culture-wise is the right thing to do. I think trying to make a play is it? I do. I think at a certain point,
trading Tyrese Halliburton for a win now move that gives you like
what would you have done, Isaac?
Ceiling?
I think at a certain point. Look, listen. Maybe the Halliburton trade wasn't necessarily the move to make. But I think for them,
I think it's a disastrous move.
I also think that it was a bad trade. But I'm saying I think that for them to say, hey, at some point we have to stop saying, oh, we're going to keep rebuilding. At some point, like, they haven't been to the playoffs in like 17 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have the longest streak without the playoffs. You have to make a conscious effort to try and say we're not going to be losers anymore. So I think that they're making the right deal. I do think, though, that De'Aaron and Sabonis isn't going to work out. I don't think that it's going to get them to the play-in. And so,
then why is it a good move? Why is it respectable then if you think it's not going to work? I think that's the whole point. Is that you have a young star and you get rid of him.
I think the principle of trying to win, I think that is putting them in the right direction. However,
bro, I don't.
No. The principle matters, because when
it's reputation.
Principle means nothing when you don't have the material conditions to make that principle matter. If in principle I wanted to say I'm going to win now,
Officer Isaac.
I just be like, sure, in principle we want to win. Great, everybody wants to win. But when you have a young star like Tyrese Halliburton, who I think has a much higher ceiling than De'Aaron Fox, and you get rid of that for a win now move, which your version of winning is 42 games maybe, it's ridiculous.
If you have somebody. Listen, everybody has different levels, right? The standard, even when the Lakers are bad and when the Kings are bad. When the Lakers are bad and they're saying like, oh, okay, we have to fix this. Their version of fixing it is we need to build a championship contender. For the Kings, if you have not been anywhere, your version of fixing it is to get to the playoffs, to the play-in. At least give your young players an opportunity to compete on a higher stage. They have not done that in nearly 2 decades. And if you're going to bring up players, if you're going to keep drafting good players like Keegan Murray, you have to be able to cultivate them in a decent culture. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, being able to say we're going to try and win now, right. That's the principle that they have to lean on. Whether or not they want to, they're going to tear down or even make the play-in, that's still to be seen. Because I may be wrong and they may make the play-in. I don't think I'm wrong, but
I don't think you're wrong either.
Exactly. Yeah, but I think that trying to create a winning culture, that's the right move. I think that for them, success this year just has to look like progress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm not trying to say that like it's championship or bust for the Sacramento Kings. Exactly. It's ridiculous. There is value to being a good team and bringing winning basketball to your city. I just think when doing that necessitates getting rid of your only promising prospect, that's where you lose me.
And from what I'm understanding too, you believe that they could have done literally the exact same thing, possibly gotten more value out of someone like De'Aaron Fox, because it's undeniable he's the better player right now. Well, it's very close. It's very close. I personally would rather have Tyrese, but it's very close. It's very close. Like, do you think they could have literally replicated the exact same thing, and maybe their timeline would have been pushed back? Instead of this year contending for 42 or 39 games or whatever, they could have done it next year or the year after that and had a much higher ceiling. So I definitely see where you're coming from. And
I think if they could have done that, they would have done that. I think from all the reportings, they were shopping both of them, and there just wasn't a deal out there for De'Aaron, so they cashed in on Tyrese while they could and tried to build around De'Aaron, which is just like, take the money in hand thing, and which I think is the wrong way to do it. Obviously, like, I think you should, if you can't trade De'Aaron and maximize your time around Halliburton right now, wait. Keep Halliburton. This win now move can come at any point. You don't no need to force it.
I mean, listen, I don't know if the win now move can come at any point. If you're the Kings, because it's not like you're getting guys. It's not like you're getting guys in free agency. Like, you really have to build through the draft and through trades, and so you kind of have to you have to make your own luck. If you're in these cities like Sacramento, Utah, right, Minnesota, those types of small markets. So I think that for them, again, I like Tyrese Halliburton. I think that he is going to be a good player, and I probably wouldn't have traded him this soon after drafting him. But the aggressive nature is something that I like from the Kings.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the only good thing that I can say about the Kings, because they are going to be a bad basketball team again. I just don't see the vision, even if again, unless De'Aaron Fox turns into like a near 40% 3-point shooter, they're not going to have they're not going to have the scoring from their primary options to be able to be, competent like that.
Yeah, I think it all just rests in Keegan Murray's hands.
Keegan Murray's hand just for him to average fucking 13 a game, bro.
Yeah, if he's Kawhi, then they're gonna be good.
Yeah, but all in all, I just realized that the last time that Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox played over 70 games was back in 2019, and that feels like ages ago, bro. And for how competitive the West is, even though they got slightly worse this year, it's still a dogfight. And that's just not gonna fly. That's not gonna fly, bro. They both each need to play at least 70 games, and they need to be out there on a consistent basis for them to even have a chance in the play.
For sure. Yeah, if they don't have both those guys available, they're cooked.
Yeah, there's no way.
Okay, we've talked for 15 minutes about the Suns now. I mean, about the Kings. That's way too much time to talk about this team.
It should have been 2 minutes.
Especially because none of us think they're going to make the playoffs. So let's move the hell on.
Let's do it. Who's next?
Let's talk about the Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
Who are quite I was going to say polarizing team, but they're not even polarizing. They're just completely shit on and belittled and totally not believed in at all right now.
See, my first thing about the Phoenix Suns is bro, I just feel so icky about their whole situation when it comes to specifically DeAndre Ayton and shit. They didn't want to pay that dude. There was a whole bunch of back and forth going on, and I think for a second he was dangled out there, and I'm pretty sure there's no way in hell he wasn't involved in no trade talks with Kevin Durant, even though I don't think that was going to happen. He was definitely involved in some talks, bro. And I'm just there's no way the chemistry is going to ever hit the same like it was last year. Him and all them boys not going to be out there grittying. And y'all remember that post-game win that they had against, I think it was against the Warriors or whatever. He slapped up Devin Booker's hand. He was like, "Winners work, baby," or some fucking cringe ass
shit. Bro, they were clicking on all cylinders last year. They were such a well-oiled machine of a team. They were a top 3 offense, top 3 defense. They were basically, in terms of types of players you need and how they affect each other, a perfect basketball team in that way for the regular season.
They were the most.
How are you gonna do that again?
Yeah, and I believe one of the biggest reasons for that, of course, talent's a huge key, but their chemistry was 1 to none. 1 to none, bro. And I think it dismantled a little bit after all the drama, how they went out and all that stuff, bro. It's inexcusable.
For sure.
This whole thing is gonna be super, super interesting, right? Because like you said, this is a team that post All-Star break, they were still top 3 in net rating. They were clicking on all cylinders. We're still getting really good Chris Paul play, which I think is very, very important, especially with him
every year it's a dice roll at this point.
Yeah, but listen, like Mo was saying, the way that they handled the DeAndre Ayton situation is absolute just mismanagement, right? Because they matched the offer sheet the day he got signed. And if you were going,
bro, they probably intended to the whole time.
And that's the problem. That's where the mismanagement lies, is that if you were never going to let him walk out the building, you give him the extension up front and you keep him happy and you keep everything going. But and as today, the Robert Sarver, the investigation, the penalties came out, and you see that from the top down, right? There's mismanagement. Listen, we're not going to get into it, but there's mismanagement.
That boy was swinging his dangling out, bro, for the dude. I'm sorry I had to say that. I'm sorry, but that shit is so violating. I tried not to, but you mentioned it. I couldn't resist. Oh, my God.
And that is, and you're not supposed to be swinging your dangling out in the workplaces, right? It's just mismatch.
And it's not a joke. Let's make that clear.
Yeah,
it's not good.
I'm being very serious. That's mismanagement from ownership down, and so from whether what the culture looks like to how they did that, I have no idea what the chemistry looks like. They looked completely torn apart. Luka took their absolute soul in Game 7.
Yeah, it was nuts. We've never seen a meltdown like that in NBA history. In terms of a team that's that highly favored going out in that fucking down bad of a fashion, We'll never see it again, probably.
I don't know. And so like they were 8 games ahead of the Grizzlies, who were the 2 seed. They were 8 games better than the second seed in the West.
It's a massive gap,
right? I don't know if they end up as top 3 this season.
See, the problem with them is like, I agree that you might be right. That might not happen again. But I think we have to talk about the reasons why. Mm-hmm. They were so great last year because of a variety of factors. But those factors were such high volatility. Their offense made no sense on paper. You know, in the modern NBA, everybody focuses on shooting shots from the three-point line and from the rim, the most efficient places on the court. They shot by far the highest amount of mid-range shots in the league. Like, it's not even close. Mid-range shooters 41% of their shots came from mid-range. The league average is 30%. But they were able to do that because they shot 48% from the mid-range, which is also ridiculous. The league average is 42%. Can they replicate that again? They've done it 2 years in a row now, but can they do it a third year?
I think that they can. I think they can because you have Chris Paul and Devin Booker taking those shots, and it's not.
And Bridges and Ayton also shoot extremely well from that range.
And it's
people
not
forget it's like their whole team.
Yeah, it's not like you have De'Aaron Fox shooting those mid-range shots, but like when you have those 2 guys who have made their entire careers off of that shot, like I think that's you can replicate that. Mm-hmm. I really just think that the intangibles are going to get them this year, and everybody else coming up.
There's one other thing they have to replicate. On top of being ridiculously reliant on mid-range shots, they were also by far the best clutch team in the NBA. If you look at their shooting numbers in the clutch, which is I think qualified the last 5 minutes when the score is within 10 or within 5, whatever it is, they won a ridiculous amount of those games where it came down to the fourth quarter, like to an almost unreplicable way. They were like 17-0 in clutch games. I don't remember the exact stat off the top of my head, but it was like something absurd. That is absolutely not replicable. No team in NBA history will be able to do that consistently. That's just pure luck at that point.
But again, they did it the year prior. Or no, actually no. I'm
not to this level though. Not to this level.
Yeah. But they have continued to be clutch. If you look at the season before, they had the second best record in the clutch. Right, and so they've been able to execute down the stretch of games for 2 years now. So I think for them, for the Suns, really what it is are you going to be able to translate what's on paper a great situation, and you still have all the pieces there? Are you going to be able to recover from the way that you went out, from the way that the Ayton contract was mishandled? And again, I'm not joking. And the Robert Sarver stuff. Are you going to be able to take all of this offseason turmoil, put it to the side, and keep going to work and keep doing what you're doing? And I personally just think that's a lot to overcome.
Yeah. But then again, you're right. There's a lot of factors, but we've also seen them do it. Maybe we gotta just believe they'll do it until they don't.
Yeah, they have the talent. I personally believe this is kind of slightly off tangent, but I feel like this season is probably going to be their last real chance of having championship type contention, a championship type contention season. And because after this, fucking CP3 is gonna be 36. He's gonna be 38 years old come May, entering next season to be 38. And there's just no way in hell in my mind a 38-year-old CP3 can help carry this organization well as and help them play as well as they did over the last 2 to 3 seasons at that point. And something that just irritates my soul that I don't know why nobody talks about this, bro. But in the 2020 NBA draft, they had like the 9th or 10th overall pick. You know who they picked? Fucking Jalen Smith. He sounds like a created. He sounds like an auto-generated player from 2K, bro. No.
And then they traded him. They got rid of him in the offseason.
Exactly.
The trade deadline.
Exactly, bro. He's a 55 overall doo-doo shirt. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a good player for Indiana.
No, he was solid last year. Actually, he was looking kind of promising, which is why they cashed in on him.
Exactly, but like during that timing, I'm just like, you see someone like Tyrese Halliburton, who is an older rookie, who will be an older rookie at that point in time, and he directly matches the timeline for everyone else. Feeds on it irritates my soul, and I don't think they're gonna see success, bro. This year,
I'm glad you brought that up.
It's wraps.
I'm glad you brought that up because we're talking about the ways in which they're being very volatile, having to replicate very tough situations. That's another reason why. They don't believe in the draft. Since James Jones got there, they just punt the draft every year and just say that's not how we build. Like he's come out on record and said that we're not a team that builds through the draft. That is so not.
They're not well ranked.
You can't keep that up. Like you have to use the draft. Bro. Every good team does.
I feel like they just stumbled onto this success that they had. Like it just happened. Right timing. CP3 had his down bad moment with the OKC Thunder. Value was at an all-time low, and it just all it's like a Cinderella story. That's all it is at this point, bro. They haven't made no legit real moves.
They were garbage for a decade before this little run. They're probably bad after. Like they're catching lightning in a bottle right now, and at a certain point, it's gonna run out.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Facts.
Yeah, they're an interesting team. I'll give them that.
For sure.
I think we can move on to the next team now. We got our Suns talk out there.
Who we got next?
We're gonna talk about probably, if in this little group, the most polarizing team on this list, the Clippers. Because I know one of us here has very strong opinions about them.
Okay. Listen.
Yeah.
My opinions about the Clippers are more about the Clippers culture and just the way that they like present themselves.
That's what I mean.
You know, because on paper, the Clippers are great. And like I'm not gonna sit here and act like they're gonna suck. They have guys. You have stars in Kawhi and Paul George, and then you're gonna be able to have your 3-and-D guys like a Robert Covington, like a Batum, like a Norman Powell, right? You have depth a little bit at the point guard position with Reggie Jackson and John Wall. Like they are deep. They have stars. They have people who can defend. They have shooters. They have kind of everything on paper, and so
except for five, big man depth. Except for big man depth.
I mean, Zubac is solid.
Zubac is solid.
He's serviceable. He's serviceable. But if you're saying, hey, we're gonna go small and try to run people out the gym, they have the personnel to do that.
Yep.
And so
Batum and Morris,
they're gonna be really, really good. And if Kawhi can stay healthy, right? Because the last time we saw Kawhi, Kawhi was moving up there in the player rankings. The last time we saw him, he was dynamite. So if he can stay healthy, they're good.
Yeah.
What do you think is their ceiling, Mohammed?
Peak, like everything goes well. I think that they are a top 3 seed. Everything goes well.
That's the peak to you?
Yeah, peak top 3
seed.
Okay,
let me get out how I feel.
Because we're Warriors out there.
We're on different wavelengths. We're on different wavelengths here. If everything clicks right for them, they're going to be the best team in the NBA, and it's not going to be close.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize how mind-bogglingly deep they are. Like, we're going to get into the season starts, and people are going to just, like, the realization is going to hit them like a truck that this team, on paper, is by far the best in the NBA. It's utterly ridiculous. Let me read out their roster to you. Or not the roster, but their core. So, obviously, they have PG, Kawhi, and Zubac as 3 locked-in starters. After that, they had to start 2 of Reggie Jackson, Morris, John Wall, Batum, Norm Jackson, and then they also have some other bench guys that are pretty good. Being able to start only 2 of those guys is fucking madness. And having the other 3 off the bench, they're ridiculous.
Listen, I don't know where you guys are on John Wall. I'm still relatively high on John Wall. I think that he's going to be able to give the Clippers like some like really, really good minutes, and he's going to be more than just 12, 13 minutes a night spark plug. Like I think he's going to be playing like valuable minutes for them. And one of the things that they haven't necessarily had, right, is a really, really like smart point guard and somebody who knows the game. And John Wall could do that. He can get Kawhi the ball in his spots. He can set up Paul George. And Paul, listen, PG, he's an underrated facilitator. I think that he can kind of orchestrate the offense a little bit. But if he can just focus on scoring the ball and not have to worry about getting everybody else, involved, then that's when you maximize Paul George, and that's when you maximize Kawhi Leonard. And so having John Wall there is going to be huge.
Yeah,
for sure.
That is absolutely true. You go ahead.
I mentioned the fact that they have to start only 2 of those players next to the 2 stars and Zubac. Mm-hmm. Who do you guys think are going to be those 2 players they start? Because it's going to be an incredibly hard decision for them.
Now that's super tough, bro.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Now that's hella tough. Now they have.
So I'll tell you the options again. So they can either start a point guard, it would be John Wall or Reggie Jackson, or they can start Norm Powell, or Nick Batum, Markieff Morris, Robert Covington. Those are the names that they pick from.
I would feel comfortable starting John Wall simply because I know he's more of a pass-first player, and at this point of his career, he's definitely pass-first, and I like the thought of Reggie Jackson being like a spark plug type player, offensively just a fucking machine, getting whatever shot he wants and keep the offense afloat. And as for that 4 spot, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Or, it could either be a 3 or a 4. Maybe you can push Kawhi to 4.
Someone interchangeable. I think that's really up in the air, and it just really depends on who the hell you're going against on that night. It's either going to be Rob or Morris.
I think they end up. I think what happens with the point guard position, I think Reggie ends up starting at point guard, but John Wall's gonna finish games. Once we get into like March and April, and we start like curating lineups for the playoffs, that's when you're gonna see John Wall in those closing lineups. And then I think Covington takes the 4th spot. That way you can just have somebody who's straight 3-and-D and very versatile, and then you can just have Paul George and Kawhi focus on the offense.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
But
I
it's
just
tough.
looked at the Clippers roster, bro, and I completely forgot Luke Kennard was still on the roster, and also they got Brandon Boston Jr. And hey man,
bro,
he has Atlanta ties to him, and he's disgusting. He's disgusting.
Listen to this, okay?
Deal, bro.
Let's assume they start John Wall, and so last year Marcus Morris started every game. Let's just assume they start John Wall and Marcus Morris. Go chalk.
Yeah.
So at that point, their lineup is going to be John Wall, Paul George, Kawhi, Marcus Morris, Zubac. Top 5 in the NBA probably. But their bench is Reggie Jackson, Norm Powell, Nicholas Batum, Rodney Hood, Robert Covington, Luke Kennard. Who else they got?
That's nasty.
What's his name? What's the Terrence Mann?
Yeah,
and then some other
Mann.
young guys who I'm not super familiar with.
Jason Preston.
Dude, they're like 10, 11 deep of really solid players that could be starter caliber for a lot of good teams.
They're nasty. Listen, Isaac, I'm with you. I think at their peak, the Clippers win a championship. I think
it's not going to be close if it clicks on that.
If it clicks, they can do it. I'm not going to sit here and say that they don't have the talent and on top of all of this, you have Ty Lue as your coach, right?
Top 3 in the NBA.
You have a great coach who's amazing at adjustments, who's a player's coach. Like you have all the pieces there. The problem is, and where my problem lies with the Clippers, is that they are just a lame franchise. That's the problem. That's the problem. Is that LA
what Charles Barkley say?
Huh?
What Charles Barkley say? He said, "I've been rich, I've been poor, I've been skinny, I've been fat, but the Clippers have always sucked."
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, LA our way is a sham, and it's like they don't have a culture. But they listen as a basketball team, and if we're just talking about X's and O's and playing games, they're gonna be great. However, the Clippers can go 82-0, right? And that first playoff game, those tickets are still going to be $10. Like it's just never going to click in Los Angeles for the Clippers.
Bro, facts. They could three-peat, and I promise you, there's going to be 0 Lakers fans that become Clippers fans.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's just that's the problem. That's my problem with the Clippers. Is like, and there's so many teams across so many different sports. Where it's like if you can just overcome the fact that you're that franchise. Like in football, it's the Chargers, right? And that's Isaac's team. I know I'm taking another shot. And so like the Chargers always have great rosters, great players, but they just find ways to lose because they're the Chargers. It's the same way. With the Clippers. They can just find a way to not be the Clippers for 1 year. They can get a championship out of it, and
it's almost like they're cursed.
Yeah, and that's 100% their ceiling is championship, and they should be championship or bust.
Okay, so one thing I want to know, Muhammad, I'll ask you again. So what's their floor?
Their
Everything
floor,
goes wrong.
no
Kawhi
worse
gets hurt again.
Oh, whoa! We said Kawhi gets hurt again.
Well, I'm just saying because they get injured sometimes, not catastrophic injury, but
gotcha.
They miss games. Like the worst case scenario happens, he gets hurt, PG gets hurt, which they're prone to do. John Wall's crappy. He looked like in Houston. What's their floor?
Because of their depth, they're no worse than a 6 seed. They're not playing. They're not playing down whatsoever. No worse than the 6 seed. They're solid. Their talent, bro. Their talent is gonna take them a very long way, And I think maintaining and finding out a way to like consistently orchestrate having so much depth year to year to year over the last like 5 years, they've had the deepest, arguably the deepest bench consistently in the NBA, and to still have that now after so many cycles. No Lou Will, no Montrezl Harrell. You turn that into like so many other good parts. They're gonna be no worse than the 6 seed, bro. Even through all the injuries.
I agree. They would have to lose Kawhi and Paul George for the season.
Yeah.
And obviously you can never predict that. If it happens, that sucks. But I think they're definitely the highest floor and probably the highest ceiling in the NBA. I actually think I'm talking myself into making them my finals pick for next year.
Wow.
I was on Team Warriors repeat, but now that I put it out there, I might be on the Clippers bandwagon.
Okay, I like that. That's not bad at all. I can't fault you for that.
Nah, it's nasty as fuck to say out loud. Saying I'm on the Clippers bandwagon. It's
You can't
disgusting,
go outside, bro. Pitchforks waiting for you right now.
But it's undeniable. They're incredible on paper.
Yeah, gotta admit it. Tough pill to swallow.
Yeah. But like I said, I would have to go to the Clippers bandwagon from where I am now because the last team we have to talk about, the Warriors are still the Warriors.
Yeah.
I
think we should get into it.
Let's do it, right? Okay, so with the Warriors, first off, as long as you have Steph Curry, like you're gonna be okay, right? Like you're gonna be a competent team. The losses that they had this offseason, right? You lose Gary Payton, you lose Otto Porter, and you replace them with Jermichael Green and Dante DiVincenzo and kind of like the same type of architect players. Still you're getting James Wiseman back.
That's the big thing.
You're getting Wiseman back. Moody or Kuminga. You only need one of your two draft picks to like really take the next step. Jordan Poole's obviously like we're expecting him to get a little bit better. Like Klay Thompson, another like healthy offseason for him to get his basketball legs under him. Andrew Wiggins is still there. That strength in numbers mantra, like that's all back, and they have the right pieces to play around Steph Curry and Draymond right now.
Yeah. Mohammed, what do you think about them losing, like you said, Gary Payton and Otto Porter? Do you think it's going to matter, or do you think the fact that they're believing in their young guys to come in and take those minutes, do you think that's going to work out this season?
I think it definitely could work out, but I think their roster, I don't want them to become overly reliant on someone like Curry. I mean, he's obviously able to do the fucking greatest shooter in the world, and damn near, in my opinion, might be the greatest point guard just ever. But they just have blatant holes on their roster, and I hate the idea of 110% relying on one of these two young dudes to do it. They definitely
what are the holes to you?
What are the what?
What are these holes that you believe in they have right now?
On the bench. The holes on the bench. That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't have that as much depth as one of you guys said earlier in my mind. You mentioned depth of Clay. Yeah. Okay, like, in my mind, one of the biggest X factors for them has to be, of course, Clay and his health and, like, how much of Klay Thompson he can be again.
Clay was not very good last year.
Yeah, exactly.
They won despite it, but if we're being honest, he wasn't a top 10 shooting guard in the NBA.
Yeah, he was very mid. But in my mind, you're banking a lot on Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga to go ahead and take that next step. You need someone to be just as good, someone to be damn near elite defensively off of the bench, who's going to give the other opponent guards hell. You know what I'm saying? Gary Payton Jr. was fucking elite last season on that end of the floor. So those are the type of holes that I see, and it's all up to the young guys in my mind. I'm not counting James Wiseman because he's such an unknown, and he's played like 5 games over the past 4 years, bro. I just can't count on him like that right now.
I think him and Moses Moody are ready. Like, Moses Moody is
I know Moses Moody
the fuck
ready.
up. Yeah. That man is ready. Yeah. We're going to have him and Jordan Poole off the bench as a 1-2 ball handling combo. That's a lot of scoring punch to have behind the best point guard of all time, like you said. Probably second best in my opinion, but that's another topic for another day.
Yeah.
But having that combination, and then if James Wiseman can come in, and we saw a little bit of flashes last year, but if he can come in and really take those Otto Porter minutes and give them that big forward who can defend, hopefully shoot better, even if Wiseman doesn't do anything, if he just misses the whole season again, they have potential to be better than they were last year.
I think so. I think so too. And Mohammed, I think you're kind of underselling the depth that they have, right? Because like Wiggins averaged 17 a game last year, right? As long as Steph, right? And Steph didn't even have like the Steph Curry season that we saw the year prior, where he scored.
He shot like shit. It was one of his worst offensive seasons.
Yeah, and so like if Steph comes back and if Steph's shooting is 1%, 2% better, right? I think everything else just falls in line to where you have Wiggins and Poole, who last season gave you 35 points combined. You're gonna add Klay to that mix. They have a lot of guys that offensively they don't need, like they don't need three 20-point scores. I think the main thing for the Warriors is you have to make sure that the defense is still solid, because that's one of the things that's kept them through, that's kept them afloat through this entire run, is that their defense is amazing, and their defense is what was able to win them the title, obviously along with Steph Curry. But their defense being as good as it was help them. And so offensively, I don't think that the holes that you're saying are going to be, I don't think they're going to be detrimental.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't necessarily like consider them holes.
Yeah, I don't know. Just them putting that much light for the first time ever in their like reign of this dynasty on these young players is just, it's never been seen before. And of course, as a dynasty, you have to evolve and incorporate all these young players and things like that in order to like revive and ignite the fire into flames. I just don't have that much. It's scary. It's scary because it's never been seen before for the Warriors. And I'm putting all my bacon.
Yeah, it definitely is a risk.
He's my guy. I'm putting all my
yeah.
bacon
We're talking up the high potential of if they all click, they can be better than last year. But there's also potential they don't click, like you're saying, because these are young guys. It is a high variability situation. So I get the hesitation.
But
so
also,
what I gotta ask you,
wait, real quick. Listen, I'm looking at their basketball reference page last year. Damian Lee, who's only around because
oh my God, he was ass.
Right, he's around. He's a family hire, right? He was playing 20 minutes a night last season. He was playing more minutes than Gary Payton II. So if you can have Kuminga or Moses Moody come in and take a little bit of his
Moody
minutes,
was way better than him last season, anyways.
If you can,
hey, I have to interrupt you real quick.
What's up?
I gotta interrupt you real quick. We just hit 20,000 subscribers right now as we recorded on the channel. Pretty big number.
Let's go. Let's go. That's huge.
That was a nice little live reaction.
That's huge.
Before the season started, we started the channel at the beginning of July.
Yeah.
So already hitting 20K before the season starts is pretty great. All this momentum is happening during the off season, so
we're gonna be at 80 by the end of the season, bro.
Hopefully people keep watching.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Appreciate y'all. That's fire.
For sure.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, now you can get back to talking about nepotism, Damian Lee.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Damian Lee. So he was playing 20 minutes a night last night, more than Gary Payton II. If Kuminga, who played 17 minutes a night last year, or Moody, who played 12 minutes a night, if they can come in and take 3 of his minutes, I think that the Warriors are going to be just fine, right? They have a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, I'll start with you, Mohammed. Do you think they're going to repeat?
Do I think they're going to repeat?
No,
that's
yes
gonna
or no?
be tough. That's gonna be hella tough because there's so bro.
Say yes or no.
Teams like the Nuggets. You got the Nuggets.
Are the Lakers going to win the
Clippers,
championship next year?
Giannis. You got Harden. I don't know, bro.
Harden.
I said that like these to see your reaction. But I'm going to, for the sake of just, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm not going to say confidently, though.
Fair.
I'm not going to be confident about it whatsoever. I'm going to say no. Simply because, bro, the Clippers are coming back, and I think the East is the West is going to be more competitive towards the very top. Jaren Jackson Jr. and them boys are going to be back and a lot better than they were last season, in my opinion. So it's just going to be a lot tougher for them. It's going to be a lot tougher for them, bro. This path to the finals is going to be a little harder. So I definitely have them. Yeah. I don't think
Just stuff, like you said, I think the path to the finals is a big thing. They had a relatively easy path last year compared to most years.
Yeah.
Like facing Luka in the conference finals and just him alone, it's kind of a cakewalk. He really didn't have a chance. As great as he was, as transcendent as he is, he's not being the Warriors by himself.
I've seen that story before.
Yeah, that's not going to happen again next year. Next year, they're going to have the Warriors, maybe a year older Luka, Jokic with a full squad. It's going to be tough to get back.
Yeah, exactly. Their path was, who'd they play in the first round? They played
the Nuggets.
MPJ-less and Jamal Murray-less Nuggets. And then in the second round, I think, who'd they play again? Was it Luka or was it the Memphis Grizzlies? I don't know.
Memphis. They played Memphis in the second round. And
Ja
got hurt in game 2.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And I'm just like, they're going to be a lot more. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, bro. And I don't think they're going to have that same type of, I hate to say it, but I don't think they're just going to have the same type of path because that goes a long way.
Yeah,
for sure.
In my mind.
That matters a lot.
And they took and they took advantage and they did what they're supposed to do and you can't blame them or anything like that.
Oh, for sure. So, no asterisk bullshit. Like, I hate all that shit.
That's so lame. I just don't think it's going to be
17-year-old talk.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a lot harder, bro. It's going to be a lot harder to win this year. So that's why I don't have them making it.
Yeah, that's valid. Again, I think it's going to be them or the Clippers, maybe the Bucks out east. Like, there's so many good teams, you can't really say the Warriors for sure going to win, but I think they have as good of a chance as anybody. But all right, I think is that the last team in the division?
Yeah, that's the whole Pacific Division.
Let's go. We got through it in
crazy.
1 hour. Now we move on to the time we're all here for the TikToks.
All right, let's go.
So, I think let's start with the hot takes. You know, we do this every week. We have you guys comment hot takes on one of our videos, and we respond to them and tell you if they're a W or an L take. So let's start with that. Let me say the TikTok intro because you know I got to make sure we get that good hook.
So they seeing this live in full effect.
All right, y'all. I got a fresh. I said that last time. I got some hot takes for y'all, and I want you to let me know if these are W takes or L takes.
Let's get it.
Jose Santos says the Nets are going to be in the play-in.
I'll take. I think that. Listen, the Nets are gonna be one of like the 3 or 4 best teams in the East.
I agree for sure.
Ben Simmons is. I think we talked about this before. Ben Simmons is really, really being underrated right now. And if he is like, if he's like in the Draymond role with KD and Kyrie, that's potentially a top 2 team in the East.
No, absolutely. I think this is definitely going to be an L take. I feel like someone like Kyrie and KD are going to come into the season, come together, and I've came to a conclusion that they're going to do some serious damage. And like you said,
bold take,
bro. Yeah, like you said, bro. You said Ben Simmons is going to be in that Draymond-esque role alongside Seth Curry, Joe Harris, KD, Kyrie. You got Landry Shamet, I believe, still, bro. He got snipers everywhere you look. They're going to be lethal in the regular season. I think they're going to be a top 2 seed.
Yeah. I think rim protection might be a real issue, but okay. I'm going to go L-Take as well. I think rim protection might be a real issue, but their ceiling is the best team in the East, and their floor is like the 5th best team in the East.
Yeah. They're out block.
Yeah. So we got to keep it snappy. You got to get those TikTok sound bites in. Y'all talking too much. These are TikToks. Shut up and keep it moving. Beastiness. Is that his name? Beastiness. I can't say that right. It's a weird name. Beastiness says that Beastiness says that the Lakers are going to be in the Western Conference Finals.
I'll take. They suck. Move on.
The only way this is possible. The only way this is possible is if they land somehow. Buddy Hield and Miles Turner.
Yeah,
as
I'll take for now because they have Russ in their team. Exactly. I'll take for now because they have Russ. Maybe W take if they get rid of him, but even then, it's probably still an L.
Yeah, bro must be from the future with that type of take, bro. He must see something that we haven't seen yet.
Man, I wish he was right. All right, Devin Booker says that his name is Devin Booker on YouTube. Devin Booker says that CP3 is a top 3 point guard of all time. I think it's got to be an L take. I want it to be W because I feel like he deserves that 3rd spot, but I think it's an L.
I would say he's a top 3 talent for sure, easily.
No,
but
talent.
I would say talent definitely. When I think of I would say talent, but there's a lot more that goes into being top 3 and an elite player all time. Talent's not going to carry there, bro. Point blank period.
Okay, so top two are obviously Magic and Steph. Who's number 3?
I have not thought about this in a long time. But
yeah,
me neither.
Just because the conversation's Magic and Steph. That just stumbled all of us, bro. Holy shit.
Okay, I mean, listen,
all time,
it might be CP3.
All time. Are we taking Russ or are we taking CP?
CP, get the fuck out of here.
Listen, I was just asking the question. I was trying to see. But like,
I think it's Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas would be 3. Okay,
forgot about that, man.
Yeah.
So L take.
So yeah, it's an L take, but it wouldn't be crazy to put him there. But I think I'm gonna go L. There's a lot of good players.
If he won a championship this upcoming season, that's a W take. But I don't think that's reasonable. Yeah. So L take for now.
Okay. Yeah, that's hard. We only think about it in terms of the top 2. Yeah. And after that, like 3 through 7 are really bunched together. You got Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, all these names.
Yeah.
We got to make a video where we rank these players. That's tough.
Yeah, it's okay. Trae Young gonna be up there soon.
Yeah.
All right.
King Toe Mater said that Steph isn't going to be a top 2 point guard after next season. Is Steph going to fall off?
No way.
Like in the current top 2.
Yeah, I'm assuming that no way in hell he's gonna fall off that quick. Bro.
Yeah. No.
His game built to last. His game built to last. He's gonna be number 1 for at least like 3 or 4 more years.
Damn, really?
Wait, I forgot Luka existed. My bad. I forgot Luka.
Yeah, 4's a lot. I think he'll be top 2, and it's really just gonna kind of go back and forth between him and Luka. It's gonna be him and Luka, and then Dame and Trae as like the 3 and 4, and that's kind of gonna be like the tiers of it.
Yeah, I agree. It's an L take. He's going to age incredibly well, and I'm not going to predict a fall off until we see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Antonio says that Devin Booker is a top 10 player right now.
L take. L take.
It's an L take, but I don't think it's super crazy. I think he's in the 10 to 15 range.
Yeah, I don't think this is an
You're
L
not top
take
10.
whatsoever. I don't think this is an
Yeah, it's
L
probably
take.
not
I
top
want to say
10.
I want to hold this on my chest and say it out loud like that man, bro. I hope he was on his burner account. That's crazy. But I'm going to give it a W take for now.
What? Wait, W
Okay.
take? You think he's top
I mean-
10?
I wouldn't rep it in my chest, bro. I wouldn't rep it and be like and say it out loud. I'm not gonna say it out loud.
You're saying it
But-
out loud right now.
I'm not saying it
just
out
said
loud.
it.
I didn't say it.
Hey, I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
I think the 10th best player is either Damian Lillard or Jason Tatum. Do you think those players are worse than Devin Booker?
Bye.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, we'll move on. He's not top 10, obviously. Okay. Trey says that D'Lo is going to be an all-star again.
L take. I
Ooh,
think
this is
he's
a
done.
badass L.
He's done.
Gigantic L. I think I can see why he says that because they're going to be such a good team, but he's going to be the fourth best player on the team. It's not happening.
Yeah, exactly, bro. There's no way in hell we're never ever gonna see like 3 or 4. We're never gonna see 4 All-Stars come into the All-Star game just like the fucking Warriors or the Hawks did back in 2015 or 16 or 14, whenever they did, bro. And also, D'Angelo Russell is, I think a lot of people have come to accept the fact that he's a middle to late 20 tier pack point guard.
Mid.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not bad at all. Look, it's just deep. That's the deepest position in the league right now. So that's not bad. I mean, you're mid, but it's not his fault. None really do.
He's just nowhere near all-star caliber. He never was in the first place. Like the fact that he got in set really
That
high
was an elite
expectations for
season,
people.
bro.
It's because
He
he
never
played
should've
for
been
the
in
that
Lakers.
culture.
It's because he played for the Lakers. That's why.
Yeah, he played in LA and New York.
Yeah.
He's not all-star caliber.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Nathaniel says that the Lakers should trade Anthony Davis. That he's the source of their issues.
Ooh, I'm gonna be out loud. This is a W take, bro. I would do this.
Oh, go fuck yourself. This is the biggest L.
Can you imagine how much a lot of teams will give up for Anthony Davis? You could get win now players right now who can actually play the game of basketball on a consistent
who?
basis, and also you can preserve for your future. That's a W take for you.
What
Okay,
trade would
okay,
make them
look.
better and help maximize LeBron's prime? Who was out there?
Off the top
No
of my
one.
head. Off the top
It's
of my
Anthony
head.
Davis.
Right now, there's no one out there, but if a team like the Washington Wizards were going to offer me Kristaps Porzingis and Bradley Beal or something of that nature, I said
What the
Porzingis.
fuck is
Kinda
wrong with
crazy.
you?
Ew.
I can't think of...
Listen, here's
You
my
started off by saying Kristaps Porzingis as to why I should be excited. to trade
Bro,
Anthony
pay
Davis.
attention to the name. It's Bradley Beal.
No.
listen. If LeBron didn't sign the extension, I would say it's a W take, right? Because then I would say you don't know what he's gonna do and tear everything down and kind of like rebuild. But you have LeBron on the books for the next 2 years, so it's an L take, and you have to maximize LeBron. And Anthony Davis right now is the best way to do that.
Yeah, I can't
Facts.
So for
Yeah, I
right
can't
now, L take.
Yeah, that was an L troll.
Thank you. That's gonna be a good TikTok. I'll tell you that. That's funny. Okay, so next one, this is gonna be a good one. So there's been a lot of talk, like we just talked about, is Devin Booker a top 10 player? So I'm gonna name some NBA players. I'm gonna name some players. I want you to tell me if they're better or worse than Devin Booker.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Trey Young.
Better.
Actually, let me restart that. I'm gonna name some players. You let me know if you're gonna take them or Devin Booker. Trey Young.
Trey Young.
I'm taking Trey Young.
Okay. I'm gonna go Trey Young, but I think it's closer than people give it credit for.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna argue
that's
that.
cool. I'm still
At the
taking
end of the day,
Trey Young,
people are
like-
gonna say Trey Young over him. I don't think you'd see a lot of souls taking Devin over Trey. But
Yeah, no, it's just definitely Trey.
yeah,
Donovan Mitchell.
Devin Booker.
I'll take Devin Booker.
Good. Donovan Mitchell is extremely underrated, but it's gotta be Devin Booker.
Devin been better his entire career. I never understood that.
I don't know about his entire career, but needless to say, we'll keep going. Karl Anthony Towns. I'm taking Devin Booker.
Easy.
Listen. You know who you're talking to. Like,
Yeah.
I'm taking Devin Booker.
Easy. Okay. It's just much easier to win with It's so much easier to win with a versatile guard like that than it is with a center who doesn't play defense.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler. Easy.
Easy.
I think I'm gonna take Devin Booker.
What? Why?
Listen, I get the whole playoff Jimmy thing. He has these spectacular games that really stick in your mind. But I think on a consistent day-to-day basis, especially going forward, we don't know how. especially going forward with the age gap, I'm taking Devin Booker.
We're talking about right now, though. Fuck the age. We're talking about right now, today, Isaac,
Facts.
2022, September. I'm taking Jimmy Butler. If I have a Game 7, I'm taking Jimmy Butler, bro. If I need someone to go ahead and win me a finals, taking Jimmy all day, every day.
Fate of the universe.
Listen,
Martians have the death beam pointed at us. I want Jimmy Butler.
I want Butler.
Exactly.
Listen, I get it. He has the very high highs, but I don't think the gap is nearly as big as you're acting.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that's good. Any other names you just throw in there? What about Ja Morant? Everyone picking Ja?
I'm taking Josh. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
take Ja. Yeah, I can't take Booker over Ja.
And I want to test your guys' limit. What about Jason Tatum? You picking Tatum?
Easy.
I'm taking Tatum.
I'm taking Jason. I
Yeah.
think Tatum is a bigger gap than Ja is to Booker.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Okay, I'm with you. I'm taking Tatum. I'm just trying to see where y'all are at. Okay. What about Pascal Siakam?
What? I'm taking Booker. The fuck?
I don't know. That's tough.
What?
That's
That
kinda
one's
tough.
close.
That's tough?
That's tough.
I think that's kind of tough.
No, Pascal Siakam is all NBA. He's a
I
great
know-
two-way player.
I understand that he's all NBA, two-way player and all that stuff, but bro, I'm taking Devin Booker at the end of the day.
He plays in
Me
Canada,
too, but
so you
y'all-
don't like him.
Nah,
facts.
nah, bro, he's African. I have to.
This
like
man
him,
hates
bro.
Canadians.
Nah.
He's not even Canadian. I think he's like Moroccan or something. That's funny. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I'm gonna name some teams, and I want y'all to grade them. How should I phrase this? I'm trying to see how much good of contenders they are. I'm gonna name some teams, and I want you guys to give them a grade for how real of a contender they are.
All right.
The Atlanta Hawks.
D.
Contender.
A D.
No, like letter grade.
Oh, letter grade. B plus.
B plus.
B plus.
They're a D.
I'm gonna go C plus.
Oh,
I
why
think
is
C plus. They're not a contender. Maybe they have that potential, so they're not like an F, but they're not a contender.
That's nasty, bro. My only real question about the Atlanta Hawks, of course, is the fucking depth on that bench. It's kind of scary, just a little bit, and I don't know how well DeJounte and Trey. I don't know. Cut that part out. I don't know how well our team is going to be coached by Nate. I don't know how well our team's going to be coached by Milk Dud Nate. That's my biggest concern.
I think if your two best players, there's potential, but how they fit on offense, it's not a great. It's just not a great formula.
Exactly. D.
L take.
The Lakers.
D. D plus.
Yeah.
I'll say D plus.
Yeah, they might have to be an F right now if they have Russ. They're just not a contender.
They got LeBron and AD, and it's just crazy to say that. You know what I'm saying? You can't give LeBron and AD a D. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give them a straight up.
Maybe they're a C
That's
minus.
it.
You're right. Let's give them
That's
that.
Okay. That's fair.
The Clippers.
A.
Ooh,
A plus.
That's an A.
A
Yeah.
plus.
A plus. Easy.
Easy.
The Suns.
B
B
minus. Ah, look at that.
Okay.
Look at that.
I think that's fair. I think we're all in sync here. Look at us.
Yeah.
I like that.
What about the Mavs?
Oh, that's a.
I'm gonna go solid B.
C plus.
Flatline B.
I'm gonna say B minus as well, just because like without Brunson, you're putting everything on Luka again, and so like offensively, I think that there's some potential that he might wear out in the playoffs again, just because you're.
That's fair.
So I'll
Yeah.
say B minus.
Yeah, I'm just not putting Luka below a B for probably the rest of his career.
Yeah, that's fair to say. I'm gonna rock with y'all.
What about the Nets?
A
B
minus.
plus.
A minus.
Yeah, A minus is fair. They have like the potential to be A plus, but there's some volatility there that probably takes them down to A minus.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Politics, bro.
What about the Heat?
I'm gonna say B. I
I'd
don't
say
know why.
B-
I just don't.
B plus plus. Like not quite an A. I feel like they're like a move away, but like they're right there though.
Kyle Lowry's a
Man, I'll give them.
Go ahead.
I'll give them B minus out of respect for how good. I'll give them B minus out of respect for how good they've been, but I really think they're like a C. I just don't see it.
A
Yeah,
C.
bro. Kyle Lowry
Wow.
was a can of. Kyle Lowry was 2 cans of bounce that ass, bro, last postseason, and I just don't believe him whatsoever.
He's gonna
Yeah,
be
like, they're
better.
gonna be a
He's
great
gonna
team.
be better though.
He definitely will be better. Like they're a good team that deserves to be put respect there, but I just don't. I think there's a 0% chance they actually win. Maybe there's 80% chance they make a top 3 seed, but they're not going to finish it.
If it was Kyle Lowry from 3 years ago, then yes, I'll probably give them a higher grade, but he's not going to be as good as they need him to be. He's going to be better, but not as
definitely.
good as they need him to be.
Okay.
What about the 76ers?
B plus.
B. Just a straight B.
I'm going to go B plus as well. I think when you have Joel Embiid, who's been arguably the second best player in the NBA, at least by MVP voting the past couple of years, You have the ceiling's high. Now they have great depth. James Harden's gonna be a little bit better.
You got PJ Tucker on that team, but then you got a great 6-man and Montrezl Harrell, bro. I think their team's gonna their team's just got a lot better.
I still have
questions.
I still have questions about James Harden. You still have Doc Rivers as the coach. There's still some pieces there that can go extremely sour extremely quickly. So that's why I'll put him just straight at B.
Okay. What about the Raptors?
B minus.
C.
B minus. That seems kind of generous.
Yeah. I want to say C plus actually. B minus is kind of.
I think they're a C. I don't really think they're a contender. They're a good frisky team, but they're not gonna win it all.
Yeah, they don't have any star yet, unless Scotty Pimpin. unless Scotty Barnes turned into fucking Scotty Pimpin.
Yeah, Scotty Pimpin walks in the door.
It's happened, bro.
All right, you swayed me. C. I'll change it.
What about the Cavs? I'm gonna go A minus. I think they have a lot of potential.
I think A minus as well.
This up and coming, they have a lot of potential, but potential hints towards the future. And as of now, meaning this season, I think I'm gonna go ahead and give them a B plus.
Okay,
that's not bad at all, though. It's not bad.
I'm not gonna fight you on Cleveland. 2 weeks before the season starts. I'm not doing that.
I'm not that passionate. What about the Grizzlies?
I'm gonna give them a B minus. I'm gonna give them a B minus simply because they're missing on Jaren Jackson Jr. for like half of the season.
Yeah, I'm gonna go B minus too. I think they're a serious candidate for big time regression.
Yeah,
they last year set really bad expectations. They're not gonna be able to replicate.
Yeah, they have the perfect recipe for regression, and their second best player in my mind, a top 3 defensive player in the entire NBA, is out for half of the season. You're gonna be a little bit worse.
Yeah, it's tough. Last one. What about the Nuggets?
If everybody's healthy, A.
Yeah, if everyone's healthy,
solid A.
Solid A, bro. There's no way in hell they're not below a B minus. They're not below a B plus. Solid A.
Yep, you got the 2-time MVP, best player. I mean, you got the 2-time MVP.
Woo! That's a hot take. No. That's something you've been waiting to unleash right there, Isaac. Yeah. You let the real come out you for a second. Don't hold back.
I didn't mean to say that.
No. We know how you feel about him, bro.
No. But you got the 2-time MVP, best offensive player in the NBA, with his best co-stars next to him, some solid depth. They're gonna be fucking nasty.
Yeah,
for sure.
Nice. So I think any other teams that's relevant.
You want to say the Timberwolves?
Sure. What about the Timberwolves?
I'm gonna give them a B.
I'm gonna give them a C plus. They're gonna be a great regular season team, but I don't see with the way their team's constructed them having good playoffs. But because of the way their team's constructed, I don't see it in the playoffs.
Facts.
Yeah, I can't be mad at you for that.
Okay, so that concludes that segment. We got a couple more TikToks to go through. Oh, this one's gonna be fun. Now we're gonna do a young player draft. We're gonna keep it real quick, real brief, because it's a TikTok. But we have a pool of young players under 25, and we're gonna basically go through drafting a whole starting 5 of them. So I sent you guys the young players. Obviously, if you think of any more to add that. But let's start this off. I'm just gonna say Donovan. Go out to order my screen. Donovan gets first pick. Muhammad gets second pick. I get third pick. We'll do a snake draft.
Let's go. Because you know what that means. That means. I'm taking Luka first pick.
Hold on. Let me do the intro first. I gotta do the TikTok hook.
My bad.
Settle down.
Settle down.
Hey, y'all, we're gonna draft. Let's draft the starting 5 with. Let's draft starting 5s with only young players. You go first, Donovan.
All right, first pick. You know who I'm going? Luka Doncic.
Can't be mad at it.
I'm already winning. I can have bums next to me and I'll be okay.
That's a W take.
Muhammad?
Second pick, I got Zion Williamson.
I was gonna pick Zion. You got me. Okay, third pick. I gotta go Jason Tatum.
Okay.
Oh, I got back-to-back picks.
Oh, true.
Ooh, who don't want to put next to Tatum?
Yeah, this is where the real thing comes on, bro.
This is where it gets tough. Give me Trae Young. Yeah, I know you're mad about that one.
Fuck! Shit!
He's mad. Who you going?
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, snake draft.
Wait, who did you take, Donovan?
I took Luka. And then Isaac took I took Luka. You took Zion. Isaac took Trae.
Tatum and Trae Young.
Yeah.
Wait, you took Tatum and Trae Young?
Yes.
You took both?
Yeah, because
It's snake draft. So I went third. Like,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha. So I picked 2 players or 1 player now?
one.
no, one player.
1. I've never done a snake draft before. Okay, cool.
Okay.
So I got Trae Young right now, and
No, you don't. You have
my
Zion.
bad. I got Zion. My bad.
This
Fuck
guy.
you, man. Again.
That's confused.
Yeah, I got confused as a bitch. Okay. Damn, you're a bastard for that, bro. I didn't even think of a backup. At this point, I have to go by talent, and I'm looking at this text right now, and I think the most talented player out of this, I'm going to pick Evan Mobley.
I needed Evan Mobley.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. All right.
Yeah.
Give me. Who don't want to go here? Who don't want to go? You know what? All right. I'm gonna go Desmond Bain, and because
Okay.
since
That's high.
I mean I have a snake, but
Okay.
so I'm gonna go Desmond Bain, and
You could have got him later. I'll tell you that.
I probably, and I'm going to go with Jaren Jackson.
Okay.
Okay. So you got Luka, Bain, and Jackson. Okay.
Solid.
So you got the Grizzlies, but with Luka instead of Ja. Okay.
That's solid.
Your
dog.
turn again, Mohammed.
All right. So I pick 2 players now?
No, one player.
One player.
You're in the middle. You're always in the
Okay,
one player.
gotcha. Okay. So
Keep
I
in mind you're
got,
building a starting 5. You have 2 4s right now.
yeah, I got Zion and I got Evan Mobley. So my front court is solid. Now I'm looking at my back court and the guards that I'm probably going to settle with for the future. Damn, is this going to be a hot take or not? Is it going to be too controversial if I go ahead and take Cade over LaMelo? Yeesh. I don't know, bro.
No, Cade's better.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Go ahead and
LaMelo
do
got
it,
that
though.
zest to him, bro. I want to see the lot. For the sake of fucking defense, since I'm a believer in defense, I'm taking Cade.
Okay.
Okay, you took
I
Cade?
need that D, yeah. Oh, shit, pause.
That's funny. Nuts. Okay, so I got Trey and Tatum. I got my offensive fucking superstars.
Yeah.
So I'm going to round it out with some defense. I'm going to go... Ooh, this is a good one. I'm going to go back-to-back picks. I'm going to go Robert Williams and Scotty Barnes.
That's good. That's good.
Robert Williams and Scotty Barnes. Damn, that's nice. Damn, that's nice.
Yeah. I got some size around Trey. Pause.
All right, it's on you. It's on you, Mo.
Okay, so I got my point, Cade. At the 4, I got Zion, and at the 5, I got Evan Mobley. So I need some wings. I need a 2, and I need a 3. And you got Barnes already. Zion's already off the table. Tatum's off the table, bro. Can I? Damn. See, now I don't like my options left. I don't care. I'm not picking RJ Barrett, bro. I'm not picking him away from that man. So at the 2, I'm gonna go ahead.
Don't do it.
Bro, John Moran is still there? I'm taking
Oh, we forgot
Ja.
about John Moran.
I'm taking Ja. I'm putting him at the 1 and I'm putting Cade at the 2. Kiss my ass. I won this trade. I won this draft, bro. Oh my god. That's nuts.
Your turn, Donovan.
All right. Okay.
Damn.
So I'm gonna have Luka at the 1. I'm gonna slide Bane over to the 3 because I'm gonna put Shea at the 2. So I'm gonna
Okay.
have Luka, Shea, Bane, Jackson at the 4, and then I really wish I had Mobley in the spot. Give me Jared Allen at the 5.
Okay. Mohammed, your turn. Your last pick. Need a 3.
Last
right?
pick. I need 3. I need a fucking shooter, bro, because that Zion and Ja spacing and Evan Mobley spacing is kind of fucking nasty. So I need an absolute sniper. And the only people I see right
Keldon
now
Johnson?
left is, what'd you say?
Keldon Johnson?
Keldon Johnson.
He's 40% shooter
Yeah,
from
you
the
saw
corner.
like 40%, but is it on high? Is it a high level? Is it a high clip? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't remember it being high clip. In my mind, the best shooters on this list either got to be Tyrese, but I need my people with the ball in their hands. You know what I'm saying? So, do I want to say Tyler Hero? Do I really
Who?
want to do that? Hero?
Do it.
Pull the trigger. Do it.
Fuck y'all. Of course y'all want me to do it. I ain't listening to y'all. I'm talking to myself right now. Damn. I kind of fucked myself, bro. I'm going to say LaMelo. Fuck y'all.
Okay, LaMelo at the 3. Bro, we
got-
forgot Anthony Edwards.
Give
me Anthony Edwards as my 2 guard.
I was waiting for
Damn.
Mo to take him. I was waiting for Mo
Bro,
to
we
take
forgot about Ant.
I shot
Bro, I have
myself.
Trae Young, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum. Who else I got?
Rob Will.
Scotty Barnes and Robert Williams. Give me the chip.
I don't know,
I have
bro.
Luka, so like everything's okay. Like I'm
got
good.
Luka, but I got Ja. I got Cade. Well, hold on. Let me get my order right.
Nah,
I
your
got
team is
Ja.
definitely the worst though.
No, hell no. Your team is the worst. You kidding me right now? I got Ja.
No,
I
your
got
team's the
LaMelo.
worst.
I got Cade. I got Zion and Evan Mobley. That's a godly.
That's a
lineup.
weird ass team.
It is a weird ass team.
Luka,
It's
Shea, Bane, Jaren Jackson, Jared Allen. That's better than yours. You
So
have the
out
worst
of-
team.
no, you have the worst.
Your
So
team is straight ball handlers. Everybody needs a ball on your team.
out of all of our teams, who has the worst
me?
player?
On mine?
You do. Yeah, you have. Yeah,
No, I have two. Bane can play off the ball.
you can play out. Yeah, you can play.
Jaren
out,
Jackson
yeah.
can play off the ball. Jared Allen. All I need Jared Allen to do is block shots and catch lobs. That's it.
Melo, Ja.
All this to say, I obviously have the best team, and y'all got fucking smoked. So
Hell no. How many All Stars do you have on your team right now?
Fucking 4.
Fuck, you're right.
So
Wait.
Ant's gonna be an all star this year.
Guys, I have
Nah,
Luka. Like it. I have Luka.
This dude saying that like he got
He doesn't have
God.
Luka, but I have
He got
Trey.
God on
I have
his side.
Ant Man,
That's
Trey,
what I'm
Ant,
saying,
Jason
like-
Tatum, Scotty Barnes.
Like you can have all
Bro,
that.
Ant-Man would have changed. Ant-Man would have changed my whole trajectory, bro. Fuck. That really fucked.
I was praying you didn't notice.
Yeah, bro. Now people gonna be
That's funny.
backhanding. I think fucking LaMelo's better than Ant.
Damn. So that's all the topics I got. I think we're done here.
Yeah, I think that's it. Great day.
We got a solid hour and a half in.
Yeah, that was solid,
we're
bro.
good.
That flew by.
Great day.
Facts.
And we hit 20K.
Cherry on the top,
Fantastic.
bro.
Lovely episode. All right, episode's over.